Women's Wilderness Discovery in Ely offers guided boundary waters and Superior National Forest trips year-round. Founder and owner Peta Barrett also leads workshops on outdoor skills and lacing Ojibwe-style snowshoes. In January, we visited Peta at her facility, where she was teaching 3 women to lace snowshoes who had never done it before. Because lacing a snowshoe can take many hours, the group started the evening before we arrived. Peta demonstrated for us the first steps that she leads her students through when the workshop begins.
So when it comes to making snowshoes, like how much work is involved with it and what do you start with?
Well, I like to start with a Minnesota-made kit from Country Ways Snowshoes. So everything you see here comes from a company down in the cities. White ash frames are already made. Some people think, oh, I'm going to take a snowshoe lacing class, and I specifically say a lacing class because we're not steaming and bending. No, that's a different level. So a lot of people just want to get right to it. So I buy the kits
That's
that have...
good because mine would just be a 2x4 that I duct tape to my shoe.
There's some artistry to bending, you know, harvesting your own wood and bending it and everything. So we start with this white ash frame. And so the kit comes with a nicely sanded 2 snowshoes, the bundles of lacing that we need to cut ourselves into the right lengths. The first thing that we do before we can work on these snowshoes is we start marking stations. So the stations, here I have a finished snowshoe. The stations are these girth hitches that go around the outer frame. And on a medium pair, you're gonna do about, I don't know, 42 girth hitches. What we do to begin is we follow the directions on how to place this little guide to marking stations, and we center it. You know, we're gonna mark the tail first, then we go mark the toes, and the center section is what we do the very last, because that really requires your best lacing technique now and the right tension. We mark the stations starting with the tail, first of all, and it's just a light pencil mark. We go on down marking the stations like this. So now we've just marked the stations. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stations in the tail of a large. There are going to be 8 stations up here. It's the same lacing pattern.
Why did you decide to make snowshoes part of what you do here?
Well, one of my favorite seasons, and I'm a born and raised Minnesotan, is winter. I love winter. And part of what I was doing early on before I ever started this business was that I was taking youth out on winter fire and ice trips, we'd call them, up to Wilderness Canoe Base and build quinzies and do the sauna in the dark and jump in the lake and all these wonderful things. And so we really would take the kids out doing a lot of snowshoeing. And back in my hometown of Elk River, we all started to learn to lace snowshoes. The bug bit, and it's like, gosh, this is fun, and a lot more people wanted to learn it, and so I took on that little joyful task of teaching people how to lace their snowshoes. The Ojibwe-style snowshoe is, you know, people ask, why do you use this one? I mean, there are Alaskans, there are Michigans, the round-toed, all these different styles, which were all ultimately a native design. The lakes and woods people that were the Ojibwe and are the Ojibwe, they designed this style because this pointed toe parts the brush as you're going through the woods, and this gives you enough square inch area of support that it's great out on the open lakes too. Because up here, you know, a fine pair of modern snowshoes, tubs, or whatever the brands with the aluminum teeth, they're great, but they're only great on packed trails. But these traditional ones really work best up here, and they work best in this Boundary Waters wilderness area because it is a combination of you might be portaging through the woods or just bushwhacking through the woods to go get a wood supply. And if you've got 4 or 5 feet of snow, just going out there in your mucklucks or your boots doesn't work. And the natives would have done it in leather or babiche. We use a modern tubular nylon lacing that can withstand 1,400 pounds of stress per strand. It really floats you. There's something about this weave that floats you on the deep snow out on the lakes. So to begin, every every toe, tail, or center starts with a slip knot. And I start running towards the tail. I bring it over, loop it around, and through. That is the basics, that's the basic slip knot, no matter where you're putting it. And so then I start tightening that down. It's a slip knot. I know that I have to go to station 2, station 3, station 4 is down here. I don't have people mark stations on the brace because these are movable. So we go over the frame, we pull this running end, this is the business end, and we pull that through all the way. You get good at flipping lacing. I'm going to send this under. First one went over, trap it. This second part of the girth hitch goes under, over, and through.
Peta stopped to check on her students, who, with the help of her longtime friend Janet Meyer, are learning that snowshoe lacing skills require more math than artistry.
I'm very much a let's go right now, take it step by step. And this is not exactly a process you should take step by step. You do have to do a little bit of foreplanning.
Before you get too far, you need to check here, because I don't think that's right.
Yeah.
If she just goes up there and comes down here, this isn't
Oh,
right.
okay.
Yeah,
You
'cause
want
I'm,
me to
like,
check
missing
further?
this part.
Okay. All right.
She doesn't have the
So,
crosses
but
there.
anyway, so 22, we would go to 23.
She might actually be at 18 and 19 and, well,
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And I
see how
haven't.
these aren't crossed?
Yeah, and I
I had to
don't
restart it a couple of times just because it kept getting buggered up. So it's been a learning process. Even when I thought I had it, I didn't quite have it. So, you know, that's life. You gotta retry things, redo things. You get better with each try.
I was very nervous coming into the experience, and I thought, oh my gosh, okay, well, if it's awful, if they look terrible, then I'll just hang them on the wall and they'll be decor and it'll be like, cool, we live in Ely, here's snowshoe art. I'm actually not someone who comes to the community with a ton of backwoods experience. I'm not a paddler, as I like to jokingly say, but she does obviously have such a teacher's background that she's made it really accessible. It's been really fun, and I think I'm gonna have a functional pair of snowshoes at the end.
This shoe is one that I did for a previous class, and it is ready to dip because what we've done is all the sections have been laced. This is the center section, the most important for tension, and it's the last section we do. So when this center section is in its raw stage, these uprights and this master cord are not yet wrapped. Sure. And you see all of this lacing, it is wrapped. And just feel that, Bret. Feel how solid. It's almost like a piece of wood.
Sure.
The shoes will be dipped 3 times in an oil-based outdoor urethane. After they're dry, Peta recommends hanging the shoes crisscross on the wall when not in use to prevent warping. Besides women's wilderness discovery, Peta has taught snowshoe lacing at folk schools in Marine-on-St. Croix and Ely, where she teaches other outdoor skills.
I love to offer workshops on, map and compass navigation, quick release knots for the trail, looking for and harvesting good, dry, dead down firewood, and how to build a campfire, or how to stoke a wood stove. Even sometimes it's fun to tie in something like, hey, we're gonna learn these skills. Now we're gonna go out and do just one night on trail. Come back here, we're gonna have a morning yoga and serve up a little brunch. And then we can go home.
I'm gaining independence and confidence even just by being exposed to people like Peta, not even going on a trip yet.
She's taught me, this skill, which is just kind of opening my eyes of, oh, what else could I make? And oh, how can I use these in the wilderness? And I've just loved spending time out in the wilderness because it grounds me and it centers me and I get inspiration and I feel so good at the end of the day having worked from, canoed from one lake to the next and portaged and got from one campsite to the next and set up tent and cooked and built a fire, and it's just like, oh, these are really important skills that we don't get to use every day, and it's just empowering to know that I can take care of myself and I can survive in the wilderness myself with others, and if there's ever an apocalypse, I'd survive.
Funding for this program was provided by the Minnesota Environment and Natural Resources Trust Fund, Safe Basements of Minnesota, your basement waterproofing and foundation repair specialist since 1990. Peace of mind is a safe basement. Live Wide Open. The more people know about West Central Minnesota, the more reasons they have to live here. More at livewideopen.com. Western Minnesota Prairie Waters, where peace, relaxation, and opportunities await.